guys, I hope you're doing well. So, today I want to talk about or share about a missed opportunity that I did not take this past weekend. If you are new to my channel, my name's Brittany, and even though our channel is called Bar Family Teachers, we have a variety of topics and things that are shared about on here. And one of the topics I have shared more recently about is cerebral palsy. My journey with cerebral palsy, our foster daughter's journey with cerebral palsy, and just cerebral palsy and disability in general. Well, I've always considered myself one that is not ashamed to share about it. I'm willing, I'm, excited when people are curious, and yeah, just willing to share and wanting to share. But I was caught off guard on Sunday. My husband's brother and sister-in-law were visiting, and their kids, and we were outside playing and just having a good old time, and nobody else was around. And one of my nieces, the oldest niece, came up to me and she looked at me and she's like, "What's wrong with your arm?" And she was referring to my left arm, which I don't know if you can tell in the video. Yeah, see, here's my right arm, here's my left arm. My left arm looks different. And she had never asked this question before. I wasn't upset, but I didn't answer it in a way that I'm proud of. I kind of blew it off. I was like, "Oh, nothing, that's just the way it is." And I could have used her question as an opportunity to share a little bit of my story, to talk more about our foster daughter's story with cerebral palsy, and I blew it off. I don't know, I don't remember if I felt like I was busy or if I just didn't want to talk about it. But in hindsight, I'm like, I'm not upset at her at all. I mean, she's just a curious little girl, and there's nothing wrong with that. And she didn't say it in a mean way. Most kids don't. It's the mean comments and things that comes from adults a lot of times. And so I wanted to make this video today to take the time to reflect on the fact that I didn't take the time to answer her question. And to think about how if children are educated at a young age about people with disabilities, about people with differences, and if they're educated in a way that it doesn't, that there isn't the normal people and the non-normal people, then they just look at life differently. I even find myself, when there's somebody that is really different, it can make me uncomfortable. And I end up checking myself. I'm like, okay, I'm uncomfortable with this, but why should I be? Like, that person can't change the way they are. It's not their fault. Why can't I just remove the uncomfortableness and have a conversation with them and hang out with them? I don't know if it's because that's, you know, our society has taught us to be uncomfortable. Our society has taught us to be uncomfortable if somebody looks different than you. Our society has taught us to be uncomfortable if you go to a different part of town and the houses look different than you. You know, houses look different than what you're used to. There's just all these things that we've been taught. And then we end up treating circumstances or people differently because that's the way we've been taught. And I know as one person that I'm not going to fix it, but I hope and pray that I can train my children and help them to grow up in a way where they're not uncomfortable around people. I mean, yes, there is, you know, stranger danger and that kind of thing. Like you want them to be aware of, like, just not walking off with everybody. But those people that are in situations and circumstances that they can't change at all, that they had no say in what happened to them, like, I want my kids to have those relationships with those people. I want them to be around those people. Somebody the other day, you know, made the comment that they were glad that, you know, their kid was really smart and then their kid was hanging out with really smart kids and they were doing all these great things. And I thought about it for a while. There's nothing wrong with, you know, being excited about your kid being smart and having smart friends and things, but like that language, that thinking leaves out a group of people. And I'm ashamed to say my eyes are just now being opened very, very recently to how much of society we leave out, how much of society we shove in a corner. I just watched Crip Camp, I think is what it's called, from Netflix. I don't like the 70s. I don't like the hippie vibe. I don't like bad language. There were parts of it that were, you know, kind of cringy or whatever. And, but it was eye-opening. This group of people started fighting for disability rights in the early 1970s and didn't get the ADA Act passed until July 1990. I was born in 1990. And yeah, it just, one, that act has provided ways and avenues for me to get through life and to be successful and to be able to go to the same school as my brother and sister and have that environment. Many people didn't have that environment before, didn't have those opportunities before. And a lot of it isn't going to change or isn't going to get better by regulation and different things happening. How it's going to change, how it's going to get better is when those kids come up to you and have questions, when you answer them. You know, whether you're a parent and your child sees somebody from a distance, you know, have a conversation with them. Or if you don't have all the answers, sit there and say, you know what, honey, let's walk up to them and ask. Because most of the time, people with disabilities are willing to talk about it. But they also want to have like normal conversations. Like, oh, I like your nails, or I like your hair, or that's a cool t-shirt, or whatever. So, you know, it's just not all disability focused. But yeah, my eyes were just opened on Sunday that, you know, my own kids and nieces and nephews are getting, excuse me, are getting to that age where they're going to start asking questions and things, and I need to make sure that I'm not shying away from answering, from, you know, telling them, hey, it's okay to ask those questions, and tell them my story. You know, I was born this way, and this is the life that the Lord has decided for me, but I haven't let it slow me down. And yeah, I regret not taking that opportunity and seizing that moment and using it as a teachable moment. But I know there will be more to come, and I know as a society we have a lot to learn. A lot of times it's probably just a prayer, you know, okay, Lord, I'm going into this situation today or that situation, like, help me to see that person the way you do, Lord. Help me to just be a good friend. Help me to accept them and love them the way you do, Lord. And yeah, because everybody has value. Unfortunately, though, it takes society a lot longer than it should to recognize that. So, but hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and just have great opportunities to love on one another and to see what God is doing in your life. So have a great day. We'll talk to you next time. Bye. God bless. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.